Destiny's Reward, ԻΔΑΝΙΜỌ. The story of his rise to greatness is not a tale to be told quickly, it is a river with many bends, some calm and some violent. After I heard his story under that tree during the retreat, I realized that the WAEC fee was not just a ticket to write an exam, it was a lifeline that shaped every step that came after. He had passed WAEC with distinction, all A's and a single B in Yoruba language. That result became his passport out of the darkness of his teenage years. The state government had a special program then, the Oyo State Bright Mind Scholarship. He was chosen because his results stood out even among students from private schools. But the scholarship was not a magic wand. It covered tuition, but he still needed to survive, to eat, to buy books, to pay for photocopies of lecture notes. He told me how he became a campus entrepreneur. He would wake up at dawn, wash clothes for other students for a small fee, and then rush to his 8 a.m. class. He sold recharge cards, did graphics design with an old laptop someone donated, and even took part-time teaching jobs at secondary schools near the university. Emo pe ni mi esi in emo, he said. I knew that life would not push me backward again. There were nights when he almost gave up. When the light went out and mosquitoes hummed over his head, he would lie on his small hostel bed and pray. Baba mi elok, jeki nj imuloluf ayami. My Father in heaven, let me be the fulfillment of my mother's prayers. In his final year, tragedy struck again, his younger sister fell ill, and there was no money for her treatment. He worked night and day, skipped meals to save money, and eventually paid for her surgery. She survived, and he said that was the first time he truly believed he was born to protect others. When he graduated with first-class honors, he was given the honor of valedictorian. The vice-chancellor shook his hand and said, "Young man, your story is what this nation needs." He received a postgraduate scholarship to study abroad, a country he had only seen on television. Life abroad was a different battlefield. Cold winters that beat through his skin, accents that made him feel like an outsider, and endless coursework that kept him awake night after night. But he was relentless. He became president of the African Students Association, tutored struggling classmates, and volunteered at youth centers. He said he was determined to be excellent not just for himself but for everyone who had ever believed in him. He returned to Nigeria not just with a degree, but with a vision to create systems that would give others what he was given, a chance. When he applied to the multinational company, he was one of the youngest candidates in the history of the firm to be considered for management. His performance in the assessment was so strong that he skipped 2 job levels and was placed directly into a leadership pipeline program. From there, promotions came fast, not because he was lucky, but because he worked harder than everyone else, carrying the memory of hunger, dusty streets, and a torn exercise book as fuel. "Imi ejokodi nin to me low," he said. "It is the spirit of struggle that keeps me moving." By the time he became regional director, he was known not just for his brilliance but for his heart. He mentored junior staff, funded other student exams quietly, and volunteered for corporate social responsibility projects no one wanted to take. The day he walked into that interview room and saw me, he said it felt like God had come full circle to honor every tear he and his mother had cried. 7 is not just about his destiny's reward, it is about the reward for every act of faith sown in silence. It is proof that kindness is never wasted, that prayers spoken in the darkness bloom in the light. Be a bo aki e ri e oni e with graven y with graven emo, I whispered as he finished his story. If we play and reap joy, we worry no more. And I knew, as I looked at him that day, that the boy at my gate had not just come back, he had come carrying a harvest big enough for both of us.